5.4b, missing side problems. A right triangle is a special triangle with one angle measuring 90 degrees exactly. So in this picture here of this triangle, we draw a square in the corner to denote which angle is 90 degrees. I'm going to name these sides A, B, and C, where C is called the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the longest side of a right triangle, and it is always opposite the 90-degree angle. The Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So it gives us an algebraic relation between the sides of a right triangle. This becomes very important because if we know any two sides of a right triangle, we automatically know the third side. So let's use the Pythagorean theorem to solve a problem involving right triangles. So in the example below, we have that the right triangle here has side lengths 12 and 9 and hypotenuse x. So we have to find the hypotenuse. We know from the formula above, a squared plus b squared equals c squared in relation to the sides. And this translates into 12 squared plus 9 squared is equal to c squared, or x squared, what we're looking for. So we need to calculate this. So 12 squared is 144 plus 9 squared, which is 81, is equal to x squared. We add these two things together. 144 plus 81 is 225, which is equal to x squared. Now, how do we get x by itself? Well, the reason we touched on square roots before is now we can cancel, since it was an opposite operation of squaring something, we can cancel a squared. So let's take the square root of both sides. That's a legal algebraic move following the golden rule that you can do one side, do to one side what you do to the other. So on this right-hand side here, the squared and the square root cancel, leaving an x. And the square root of 225 is 15. So the side length of x is 15. Let's go through another example. In my shop, I know a ramp is 3 feet high and the slope is 5 feet long. Find the length of the ramp without measuring. We'll assume for the sake of this problem that the ramp is a right triangle. So we have that the ramp is 3 feet high, and we have that the slope is 5 feet long. So we have the relation a squared plus b squared equals c squared from the Pythagorean theorem, which translates to 3 squared plus our unknown x squared equals 5 squared. Now this is another algebraic equation we could solve. We have that 9 plus x squared equals 25. Let's employ the addition principle or subtraction principle and subtract 9 from each side. These cancel, and we end up with x squared equals 16. Now, again, we take the square root of both sides. The squared and the square root cancel, and we end up with x equals 4, which is the square root of 16. And that's our answer, 4 feet.